They are among some of our most recognized shopping centers.
We used to hang out a lot in St. Lin Square when we were in our secondary school days.
The whole building itself speaks artistic culture, man.
Once the grand dams of our retail sector, they are today living monuments of a bygone era.
I would think twice about coming to Sim Lim after whatever has happened regarding the scam.
It is a pity to really see an icon of this building to be lost within this era itself.
Can they withstand the winds of change?
Golden Mile Complex, like the rest of other buildings built at its time, they were built with strength and tallness and were built during the Independence Day where Singapore is just newly formed. The idea here is really representing the spirit of the time. Brutalism as a form itself, with its rawness and boldness, it is that stark rawness that builds up that characteristic of the building of its time. The whole idea of living within the city itself is compelling. This photograph is by our local photographer, Darren So. He takes pictures of vanishing buildings, especially the 70s and the 80s building. You'll notice that there is a general characteristic of what some of this building is, and of course, it looks brutal. It's its simplicity, its starkness, as well as its rawness. We are standing at an important point in time in the history of Singapore, where we are documenting all these buildings before it's all being subjected to renewal and redevelopment itself, before it all vanishes within our cityscape. This is a 16-story building, and sadly, it has passed its stage. Well, you can see urban renewal, the transformation within this whole district has been tremendous. You can see that how buildings are getting taller, in terms of facility are newer. The question remains, what should we do with this building? Golden Mile Complex was built in 1973. And over here, a little known fact is that this is Golden Mile Tower, which was built in 1974. In its heydays, Golden Mile Tower is a mixed development of a commercial office and actually houses the first multiplex cinema itself. It was the biggest in Southeast Asia. In the planning, there was the idea of having a twin Golden Mile complex side by side, welcoming the visitors or people coming from the town. It is why it is called a landmark, a gateway to the city itself. It's amazing to see that built in the era, how visionary they are in terms of the structure itself. This is how Golden Mile was envisioned, the Asian city of tomorrow, where street is hidden in the building itself. This is a mixed development. You can see that from level 1 to 4, it is actually a series of shops, supermarkets. There is the bus operator that's operating there. And then from 5th to the 9th level is where the offices is. And after that, from 10 to the 16, they are the residentials. There is actually a linkage linking these two buildings via underground basement bridging, both building together. So here we are at Golden Mile Tower at the pathway walking towards Golden Mile Complex. We are transiting to the Golden Mile Complex itself through this door, linking space to space, away from the blazing suns, where one could actually walk through with comfort. Coming up the flight of steps here is really another world. Come. So here we are at the Golden Mile Complex itself. You can see over here, there is all sorts of shops that's related to Thai culture. You can see that it all has its own flavor and taste. Way back in the 80s and the 90s, where truckloads of foreign workers were coming here by the drove to seek economic opportunity, to find work here. There were many Thai construction workers coming by to this part. And in 1985, when the supermarket came about, and somehow the culture here has kind of embedded within the Golden Mile Complex. The rental here is definitely cheap, and the culture has kind of evolved into a mini culture. There is a different kind of flavor, different kind of smell. You can see the Thai signages here, where this is a mini Thailand, a place where you go to find Thai food as well as find a bit of that culture here. The idea of the Thai culture is so invested within the space. One could actually feel how the whole place has transformed. During the daytime, this is business as usual. But come nighttime, this place will transform into another world.
I'm a manager working in Deva Disco at Golden Mile Complex for 11 years. When people visit Golden Mile Complex, the pubs here, the disco here, the feeling is different. It's same like visiting in Thailand. Unlike those visiting in Clarke, Bukit. Last time doesn't have Thai people here, only locals. Then slowly they open more shop, like Thai shop and supermarket. Slowly a lot of Thai people come here to eat, buy things, shopping. In the past Golden Mile, I think the name is not that good because a lot of workers, they came here drinking, then after that they tend to fight. Because the locals, they heard about this, they tend to avoid this place.
I come Singapore 4 years. Then I come work here because last time my friend work here. All people know Golden Mile Complex. If come Singapore, want to all see Thai friend, allก็say meet where meet Golden Mile Complex because all got have Thai people. Golden Mile make feeling that I at Thailand.
My staff, my singer here, they are from Thailand. Most of them came from poor family. So they come here to hope to earn more money. Thai disco is like customer come in, they come here, they drink and listen to the song. Some of them, if they like this girl or what, they'll buy the ball. We start from $10, 30, 50, 100, and until thousands and thousands. The girls, they'll get certain percent from the flower. I'm married to a Thai wife. We know each other about 7 years ago and just got married about 2 years ago. เมียก็บอก hello เจ๊ๆเร็วๆ I met her in this Golden complex in one of the pubs. I feel like pity for her, like that. It's like she need to drink a lot. It's not good for health also. And the time I told her that just quit the job. I don't earn much, but I will like try to support her to my best ability.
Interesting, isn't it? Look at this. The microcosm of life here. The people, the sight, the smell. Isn't it wonderful to be seeing these activities bustling around? Come, let me show you another world that's beyond this. Most of the firms here in this office tower block is mostly the consulting firm. For example, the accountant firms, the trading firm, and of course, there are some engineering firms that are still around since the beginning of the building itself. The commercial officers right now have been replaced with many other creatives. The rhythm of the staggering staircase, which is poetic by nature, how an element like this allows the working condition of truly the creative industry to really right now flourish here. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, good to see you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
So, what's this exhibition about?
I'm working on a solo exhibition, so I'm just kind of developing the work as I go. Being here in Golden Complex has been a good energy for us because looking at the architecture, looking at the kind of grit that the building has, I think it's something that I was quite attracted to, and I think it's also can be associated to the kind of approach that we take with showing and creating art in this space. I really wanted to start an independent art space for artists that would allow Singapore artists to express themselves freely in terms of expression, but also in terms of not having so many financial limitations on the artist. Over time, we started getting like 100 people at every opening.
It's really amazing because what you just said earlier on, it really is a reflection of what the spirit of where this building, the idea of work, live, play is really, if there's a continuity, you just hit it on the nail.
I'm from Iran and I moved to Singapore in 2014. And I'm working as music director. Basically, it means I produce, write and compose music and lead the artists in their music career.
A lot of my friends ask me why I'm staying here, while just across the street there is the places like Kampung Glam, which are nicer and fancier. I mean, look at here. Look at the structure. Look at the diversity of the cultural and nationalities, everything down there. And it's totally different than Singapore. How are you doing?
I'm good. How's everything?
Good, good, yeah. Good. So this is Sam, this is Ada, this is Kelvin. Hello. And let's go work. Yeah. Okay. Come. Sam, let's do the mic test.
1, 2, 3.
Earphone. Okay. Let's do some recording. I can work from anywhere. Literally from anywhere in the world. As long as I have this simple setup, I can work anywhere. But I chosen Golden Mile. Another very good reason, after I moved here, one of my friends sent me a link that Beatles John Lennon, he came here for shopping when it was Metro department store. And after I heard it for maybe 2-3 weeks, I was walking different. I was like, yeah, I'm stepping where John Lennon was stepping. And it's good motivation if you think about it.
Take it back, the word that you said.
Need you to sing stronger. Sing stronger.
But I'm still wash your name in my mind.
For this part, let's do it with your guitar.
Okay.
Actually, there is a lot that most people's impression is that just the first 3 stories of the mall. Usually when I give my name card or I tell people for meetings to come here, they get very surprised to know there are legitimate businesses up here going on like us, like the Retro Gate. And they get surprised when they know they're up here. And actually upstairs is even residential area, that there are people living there, families living there.
Welcome back to Retrogate. Okay, so for today, our topic is about Golden Mile Complex. First question, Isaiah, do you know why we moved to Golden Mile Complex?
I think a good reason why you guys moved here is because of a bigger space, and I heard that, you know, Golden Mile was going to be en bloc soon, so the rent was a bit better for y'all.
Apart from just the rent, right, like the whole building itself speaks a ton of like artistic culture, man. There's like an art exhibition here. We have the projector. I mean, just look at what's spilling out of the building. It's a ton of artistic things, and we want a piece of that. We want a piece of the action.
Retrogate is a streetwear cultural hub in Singapore. We house streetwear apparels. One of the things we have is actually a podcast room, which is just really just for me and him to hold very deep conversations about society. So we have talked about Golden Mile on our podcast before. So Golden Mile Complex is fantastic because the thing is, apart from getting like local people to shop here, we actually get a ton of international people in who like the building because there's a slight edge to it.
When I step into this building, I really feel like I'm in another country because of the different vast amount of cultures within. I find really unique, and that's what makes this mall really stand out. So it just brings that historic feeling back to life, which I really adore, to be honest.
You're right, there's some sort of like a reputation for it, but I think that's the beauty of it. It adds flavor to wherever you do, and especially in this business.
We are at level 14. This is where the residential level. Look at the view itself. You can hear the sound of the city.
Hi, Russell.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Wow, you got a great view, really.
Yeah.
Amazing. You can see all the way to the South Bridge and all the way to the sunset.
When I first came to this space, like the one drawing factor was this view. It's $1 million view. I don't think that you're gonna get anything like this anywhere.
How does living here in Golden Mile Complex inspire your work as an artist, as a resident here, living with this great view of the city?
I did do a video work about Golden Mile. Yeah, so what I was trying to do was embody all these different inhabitants of like Golden Mile.
But it's very interesting you have brought in the people, this whole character building part in Golden Mile Complex.
It was very interesting for me when I came here for first time. A lot of people think here is 24 hours because of the clubs. It's mainly because of the buses and the passengers are always downstairs. I get it that it have a lot of negative image on it. If that image can change a little bit towards positive, it would be lovely. The whole architecture is quite unique. I love it.
Such a vision here is hard to be realized in present day. The advisory note from URA means that whoever wanted to buy into this building, they will have to conserve the facade itself. And perhaps this is stopgap measure to this current en bloc fever. It is a pity to really see an icon of this building to be lost within this era itself.
What if the en bloc happens tomorrow and you guys move out? You know, are there any plans?
So that's a definite possibility, and we'll see how it goes from now.
Yeah.
Yeah?